Wow, it's been a long time since I've done this type of orientation. Well, look at that. I'm going way too full here. But yeah, what's going on, guys? My name is Sono Jono. We promised the bass, the whole bass, and nothing but the bass. I was not expecting to pick up this instrument because I told myself for 2025 is to practically weed out everything, not everything, but some things like the ones back here that you see here. That's literally all that I don't want anymore. Matter of fact, I'm trying to just condense my whole bass stuff to like at least 5 to 8 basses. The numbers always go up in the air, especially when you're trying to plan something of wanting to weed some bases out and then you end up just getting 5 more. Like earlier today, I sold 3 bases just to get 3 more. And it's like the whole point of 2025 was just to get rid of stuff and not get more. Like,
Bruh.
oh, but it's good to be here. It's good to be here. And you know what else is good to be here? Floof. Floof is good to be here.
I don't know, some bullshit.
That's right. Featuring the cat. He was singing. He was going hard.
Yep, my cat. Bocce ball.
And he's still going.
Yep, he'll do that for the next hour, likely, because he gets fed at 10. And
that's
oh
right.
no, it's 10. He
Yeah.
he just got fed, so he's complaining for no reason, is what I'm getting at.
He's probably just saying that the food was good and he just wanted to say all of that.
You know what? I'll take your word for it.
Oh yeah, so this is the bass in question on the thumbnail. It's basically whoever did this, they knew what they were doing. Like they knew what they were doing with this, and it's like
Or they did not at all.
maybe, and they were just like, I'm gonna go ham and try my best to do what I can do with this. But basically, this entire control layout is volume tone stacked across the control plate. So practically each pickup has its tone, which is wild.
So stupid.
It's so wild and dumb at the same time. But I mean, it don't sound too bad. Let's plug it in because I just had the cable. I don't know where it went now. I'm this new setup that I have, my new desk and all that. It's just I got to get used to it. But it sounds interesting. See if that's literally all pickups. Like all of them on. I was going somewhere with that. I don't know what happened. It's interesting. Very interesting. But basically, literally all pickups on. I'm gonna try and get rid of the jazz pickups and just hear nothing but the P bass. Just so it's like, yeah, I'm basically playing a P bass in a jazz bass body.
Sounds so tight, dude.
Right? What's also interesting too, and I kind of take back what I said earlier about, yeah, this person knew what they were doing. Well, they decided to have the tone knob on the top instead of the bottom. But maybe that's just how I'm used to it. I'm always used to like controlling the tone at the bottom than the top. So like it's
I don't know what you're
reversed.
thinking on that one.
Yeah, like it's reversed. Like basically you have the volume knob on the bottom and the tone knobs on top. It's very interesting. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds decent. It's very interesting.
It sounds so sick.
It's very crispy too.
Standard for the regular people. I'm in E flat right now, so like. So, I'll put that back into standard right away.
No worries.
Yeah, my band plays in E flat, and we're starting to get back together. So
that's good.
Yeah, we just took like the winter off for me to finish college and everything, and my cat to yell at me. So
understandable.
Yeah, the cat yelling is very integral to the band's sound.
Oh yeah, understandable for sure. But yeah, just a lot of things. A lot of things have behind the scenes for sure. Very interesting.
For me in particular has been, if you've seen the past couple of my videos, it's been very nuts because there was like this. I was uploading like once every week to 2 weeks, and then I just dropped off the face of the earth just to come back again. So
yeah, and for me, it's like I want it to be consistent. I have videos in the backlog. It's just finding the time to polish it up and then post it. And considering that I already have 2 videos ready to go, and we're literally 2 more days till the end of 2024, I figured let's just wait out and do my 2024 video because it's not really going to be anything about best or worst. It's mainly just a lot of good basses I played this year, considering I did not play any single bad bass at all, which is surprising. It seemed like 2024 was a good year for bass. There was not a whole lot of basses for me that played like complete shit. It just wasn't. I didn't get any of that compared to 2023, which is actually good. I'm actually
totally. I totally have the same sentiment because the one bass that won the worst was meant to play like shit. Like, it was $40 off Facebook Marketplace. It's right over there. It's got D'Addario half rounds on it, and it sucks. But like, something had to be the worst, and I was like, well, that has to be the worst because that was the biggest piece of shit by a mile. But I bought it knowing it would be a piece of shit, so like, it kind of balances itself out. So
right. Cool.
Oh man, dude, I love these things. Just intermittently playing it. It's just they're addicting.
Yeah, but I'm definitely excited for 2025. I'm actually very shocked Ibanez has not came out with a catalog for their new instruments for 2025 because normally they do that around the tail end of Thanksgiving or even beginning December. I got nothing. So that's going to be a surprise for NAMM if I check that out. And yeah, just see what's going to happen there cuz yeah, that's kind of interesting. I didn't hear anything about Ibanez. Usually a lot of people will rave about it. So something tells me 2025 might just be a continuation of 2024 in terms of basses. Just pretty much that's my prediction. There already have been release of the Squier Antigua line, but they're trickling here and there. It's not concrete of all right, they're now selectable like worldwide, and especially in the States, since right now I haven't even seen anyone in the States pop up a photo or a video of their Antigua basses or anything Antigua. So I'm like, okay, well, the UK, they already have it. It's already like they got it already, but not here yet in the States. So yeah, I think 2025 will be that year where Antigua will start coming out for sure. And I'm already dead set on getting the P bass Antigua and then modifying, or not even modifying, but just swapping out the stock neck for just a plain maple neck. But yeah, that's my
Nice.
goal.
Oh man. So
What's
are you
good?
swapping out for a plain maple neck? Sorry, I was signing up for NAM.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. It's for the Antigua bass, the Squire Antigua.
Oh, okay. You're gonna do like just a normal maple. Is it like
Yeah,
blocked?
normal maple. I'm not a fan of the blocks.
So I like white blocks on maple, but I don't like
Interesting.
black blocks on maple. I think black blocks are okay. Like black blocks are good. Like I don't hate it. But like the white perloid blocks on maple with the white binding,
Mhm.
that's class, man. It blends in so nicely.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And I have a bass for that too. It's like right. I'm staring at it. It's the amber finish one. That's my favorite one, man. I call it the Prince bass just because it has that pick guard. And then the question is, what is Player 2 series? Basically a continuation of the Player 1 series from Fender. But
they're about the
with
same.
yeah, they're about the same. Only difference is they finally brought back rosewood and they have semi-rolled edges that it took Fender years to catch up to Sire's edgeless fingerboard system. So I mean, technically that's really it. I can actually give 2024 for like the whole like, thanks for catching up, Fender, but you're like 10 years late. So
Yeah, they're so comedically far behind, man. It's goofy. Um yeah, it's it's so silly.
yeah. And I guess he meant the bass that I had earlier. So, I mean, I'm not taking back what I said, but the black jazz bass in my hand, it's not a Player 2 series. It's actually a vintage modified from Squire. It's got the Squire headstock name. So it's literally just a Squire bass, vintage modified from I believe 2010. So it's very old. You can find them very cheap without the modification that I pulled up earlier. You can get them for, especially that color, for like around 300 used, $300. And I'll show it up again. There we go. Much better lighting for this. And then headstock game right here. Squire Jazz. Oh, there's actually some decent lighting here where I'm at. Not
The
bad.
gold tuners aren't bad either.
Oh no, not at all. When I went to go see, or when I went to go drop by a friend's house to pick up some stuff that they were getting rid of, I brought the bass with me, and they were like, "I love the gold tuners, keep them, but the bridge, make it gold too." And I'm like, I'm not opposed to keeping or swapping the bridge for gold. I mean, that was kind of the
I
plan.
think you do. I really do think that's what you need to do. I think you need to swap the grid. I think you just need to go all out. Like, get a gold guard too.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's the play.
That's insane. Anodized?
Well, maybe not anodized. Get like a plastic gold though. I feel like would be
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's yeah. But it will
sick.
kind of help with the
I feel
shielding
like
though.
that's the play. Mm-hmm.
It will kind of
Yeah, it
help with the
actually would.
shielding. Cuz not going to lie, even like soloing the jazz pickups, they start that single cycle hum like crazy. But yeah. Oh, I'm already here. In the meantime, take over for a bit. I'm just going to grab over my Sire Z7 that's like chilling right there in the corner. The modified Sire Z7.
Give Give me like 2 seconds. I'll be like so much more interactive. I promise.
Like compared to grabbing the Squire that I just had with this one, it just made it feel like this was 10 times lighter. Cause yeah, that Squire,
dude,
by
like,
the way,
yeah.
Yeah, like I picked it up. I was like, oh, like I picked it up way too fast. But
Because
nah.
I feel the same way about picking up a Rick and then going back to like either of my P basses.
And you're just like, oh, this is lighter.
Like, oh my god, Alder is like weighs nothing. Like, because these guys are all maple except for the walnut stripe and the wings.
Sick.
And they sound like an absolute tank, right? But it's so heavy. So that is nice. And you fixed it and made it better.
So I fixed Sire's QC mishap.
Mm-hmm.
Basically installed Nordstrands on it, and I went a little wacky, and I told the luthier to install me a 3-switch toggle that's in between the volume right there. You can kind of see it. And it's literally a jazz bass hybrid. Because, like, let's see, right now, I think right now it's single? Hold on. I know this is series. And then this is parallel. And then this is single coil, so I'm splitting the humbucker. So I like that single coil sound because it's very reminiscent to jazz. So it's like... Right? And that's in passive mode. I didn't even go in active. But yeah, that's going to be further explained next year for like a whole deep dive of how I fixed it and just kind of going over the control settings and then comparing it to stock, of course. But I like it. It's making me play this a lot more now than I did before. And yeah, also fixing the neck pickup situation. So like right now, let me actually, I'm going to go to parallel mode because that's how it was by default. And solo the neck pickup. So let's go actually hearing both pickups on. Now with the neck soloed. Like it's much better than it sounded stock to me. Because at least with stock, it just sounded like it was barely hanging on. But now with just the neck pickup, with the Nordstrand neck pickup,
man, that thing's cool.
Right?
Like it sounds good. So
yeah, it's gonna be my forever bass.
Oh yeah, man, I can see a world where it is that. I still have your Z3. I need to make the video about it and then give it back to you because I don't want to keep it.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry everybody, I'm not a fan.
Let me put this away.
Oh fuck. Oh. What is that?
You got your rig?
You got yours.
I got mine.
I love it.
That's right. I was like, yeah, you got your rig, I got my rig. Let's go.
God, this thing slaps so well. Like, just...
Does it? Ain't it?
Ah. Like, it sounds awesome.
Of course, how the Rickenbacker Harley Benton copy sounds compared to your Rick, it just does not, it can't compete.
Alright, hold on. Okay. Like... Oh, what were you playing? That's something like that. It's only that. It's doing something in like a D major.
Yeah.
Yep. I learned how to play Walk Don't Run. Something like that. I gotta work on it. Damn. Ooh.
But yeah, that's next for me, man. I definitely want to get a Rick, especially with this color. Like, I wouldn't mind getting a Rick in this color.
Yeah.
Ideally, it would be the white color, but
Whites are really hard to find. All of them are vintage.
Not only that they're hard to find, but when you mention the maintenance behind it, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I've been through that road of owning a vintage instrument and how much the upkeep is more than playing the instrument. Nah.
Yeah. For Ricks, it's like double duty, man.
Yeah. And let me acknowledge Brooks, the drummer here, because he acknowledged you. He said, yo, all in caps, floof. And then he's like, damn, it's so cool to see two of his favorite bass tubers on a live stream together. I'm just a normal person, but I appreciate the comment. And
same here. I literally just go on stage and make a fool of myself. That's what I do professionally. So.
And it looks like we need Scott, Ian, Charles, Danny, and Davey504 in this live stream. That'd be interesting. Matter of fact, I probably would just be in the background, just sitting while they all just do their thing, and I'm just like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down to just play like any rhythm part. Like, if I'm in a room with like, I mean, even Scott or Ian, I'm just sitting there like.
Yeah. There you go.
Like, I'm not doing
yeah.
shit, bro.
Like, damn, what key? Like what key is that in?
Nah, those are really good cats, man. Those guys are really, really good. But yeah, I'm going to NAMM.
Oh yeah, you're.
I just took the time. I took the time off today, so as soon as that gets approved, it's all in the books. But yeah, I get to fly home for a few days, for a week. So
Sick.
that's what I'll be doing.
That'd be great.
So we can see each other. I need to get my flu shot before I leave.
Yeah, definitely.
People are.
I know that's going to be around that time when everyone starts getting a little bit sicky and all that icky feeling.
Yeah, icky sicky, no good. Yeah, and then of course. Oh, that was all neck pickup too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, I'm so out of practice. I haven't played that much since I graduated. It's very weird. Basically, I graduated, and the last time I played, I mean, I learned what's the name of the song? She lives in a fairy tale somewhere too far for us to.
Brick by Boring Brick.
Brick by Boring Brick on bass.
Nice.
Like, that's great song. And then you got
I love the
great.
pick sound on the Rick. Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, and this is with the modern thing. So what it has here is this push-pull pot. Here, I'll put it up to the camera.
Oh,
It's
cool.
got this push-pull pot on this back tone knob. If you keep it down, it's got the modern sound, so there's no capacitor. What the old Ricks had is the capacitor that would bleed the bass out. This is actually how you get harmonics out of the damn thing. So if you put a harmonic on the 5th fret, it won't ring out that well on the neck pickup specifically, like at all. There's a reason for that, because the ratio of the 5th fret is thirds, I believe. One of the thirds is the pole pieces on the neck pickup. So if I do this and I put it on the bridge and watch, I'm going to play a harmonic over the pickup. So when I swap it to the neck, it doesn't ring.
Oh.
Because it's over the top of each other, so they can't catch. So, little physics thing.
That's a neat trick.
People I can't explain. When you pull the thing up, the bridge pickup, though, that comes back. Because the bass pickup can pick it up a little bit more because there's a little bit more top end in it.
Yeah.
And then if you want that classic, like, Geddy Lee Rick thing, right? And you get it with that. There's so many sounds in this thing, too. You put it down and you just have, like, a more aggressive jazz bass. Like, just... It's like a jazz bass with a bit more spank and mid-range to it.
Mm-hmm.
This thing slaps like a menace. Wait for the high notes. And then what you could do is you could kind of roll between the pickups because they have individual tones too. If you roll off the bridge pickup, you get a little bit more of an aggressive thing. So you get a little bit more of the bridge pickup, and this is without the vintage switch. So I'll let you know when I switch it on. I think this sounds great with a pick. Like. And then when you pull that vintage switch out, it's just fucking roundabout. So it's awesome. My personal favorite that I run is I will do the vintage switch in and blend the bridge pickup out a little bit. So there's like this one point of breakup where it opens up and you'll hear it. So I'm going to open it.
Ooh.
Like you hear it start to break away from the bridge, and it's a little bit more nick. So.
Damn. That sounds good.
And when the bridge pickup volume is facing at like, 3 o'clock on my end.
Yeah.
And you just roll the bridge pickup tone back a little bit too. What you get is just this pseudo P-bass, pseudo Rick thing.
Mm-hmm.
It sits in this weird in between, this weird enigma. But I think it sounds great for like doing like, I like to do more electric jazzy stuff. I like to do like the fusion stuff. Like you know, and that's just this nice thing. And actually, my hand has gotten better, Desert Cruiser. I've been wearing this as like a compression glove. This is a musician's practice glove. I thought it would be like horse shit and like a gardener glove, but I actually use it for. I cut the fingertips off because it's a little small. But
Not only that, but it gives off Terrifier vibes.
Yeah, I think it gives off like cheap shit biker vibes. Like,
nah, Art the Clown right here.
I use the full finger one for upright specifically, just to keep my hands from getting destroyed. Because I still have baby fingers. But
man,
usually
the
glove looks like this. And then you got like that Scott Divine look, right? Just
yeah.
But it affects the tone a bit. It makes it a little softer.
I mean, that's good. Just
so
there you go.
I like to cut the fingertips off, and then when this one starts to fall apart to pieces, I'll cut the fingertips off of the other one. So yeah, no, my hand is actually getting better. When I graduated college on the 20th, like the end of the actual semester for me was more like the 14th. And when that ended and I finished all the papers and all the shit I had to do, there was like this gap from the 14th to like the 22nd where I just barely played. And then the 22nd hit and I played some like jazz things as a guitar and bass duet with my buddy. And then his girlfriend hopped in and played piano, and then we were a trio. And we were like, man, this sounds cool as fuck. So we might do it more often.
Very cool. Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, BCC. This is just kind of a prelude to my New Year video for 2024. It's going to be a special one. And when I say special, it's going to include this in the video. And I can't wait to try it out.
Ooh. What are you going to be using that for? Just amping your cabinets? Or
I'm going to amp this to the 212 and this microphone that you're hearing on the 112. It's going to be a sick combination.
Yeah, dude, that's actually going to be tight as fuck.
Yeah, so I'm bringing in my producer-esque friend that's in college that's, you know, getting his BA, and I say, hey, I got a small project. You think you're down to like help like correct the phasing? He's like, yeah, man, just like let me know what time I'll come over, and then we'll just start doing some science when it comes to mic placements. So that's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it.
BA in music.
There we go, man. Hell yeah, you did.
They actually haven't sent me my diploma yet, so I got my outstanding student in music award in here for now as a placeholder until they send me the actual piece of fucking paper. Those rats, they didn't.
Yeah, with the nice paper material too, like legit.
Mm-hmm. The high quality stuff, bro.
Yeah,
but I did it, man. It's over. It's all over. I've done it. So
you done did it. Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. This is awesome. But yeah, looking forward to.
Thank you.
Oh, I get the bass tomorrow, by the way, from Guitar Center. Yep. I was checking my email and it said expected arrival tomorrow, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome. I can now rest. I wouldn't say rest, but it's kind of like I can now kind of get back something that I once played for literally a decade when I had done live performance, because I had done live performances with that said bass, and it's done so well, and I loved it, especially with the mod right after it.
I'm gonna give it a code name because I think I know what bass it is, but is it the burger?
It's the burger.
It's the fucking burger, dog.
Heck yeah.
Go.
Yep. Once a headless player, always a headless player.
Real,
and I think it's time to end. I think it's time in 2025 to enter the real me of like, yeah, I was once the guy that owned 6 to 8 headless instruments, all Steinberger and NS design, and I want to do it
Mhm.
again next year for sure. Um, I really need to actually lock it down with NS design since I'm really cool friends with the whole department. So I'm like,
You really
yeah,
do. Like, just shoot him an email every once in a while and be like, "What you guys doing?" You know,
pretty much.
because it
And
seems
it's
chill as fuck with them.
what's crazy too is that they even have this special custom order where you can actually like design your own color, and they'll give you through email of, all right, is this the color you want? And it's of course going to be a very upcharge fee. I don't think they ever gave me a number, but the estimate was like pretty much 10 to 12K, which is like bonkers. Bonkers. But I'm okay. I don't want a custom NS design colored finish. I think I'm good with the ones they have stock. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, I like it. Just don't, yeah.
Yeah,
um,
I think I see a world where I refin the Road Dog Rickenbacker
uh huh.
to Seafoam Green because that's my brand. My
Hell yeah.
brand. Um,
Oh, have you been seeing those listings lately? Like throughout 2024, they would be
there's
like,
that one dude with the walnut one that had a Seafoam Green. He got it refinned.
yeah, yeah, that's the
Is it
one.
that guy who
Yeah,
made
it's
it like
that.
a he? Because it was a regular 4003S, and he made it
Hmm.
like a V63 and then painted it green.
Yes.
I wanted it, but he asked way too much for the
I think it was like
longest fucking time.
4,000, right? You wanted like
Yeah, he
4,000.
was ridiculous about. I'm like, brother,
Oh,
we are not on the same zip code, let alone state. Like,
not only that, like, but we're not matching the expected number that I had in mind.
I'm thinking if he sells it for like 1800, like, yeah, I don't have the money right now. I have a much better job, but I don't have the money because rent. But like if he came at me with 1800 and I had the money, I'd be like, yeah, I'm on board.
Hmm.
Because like obviously for the he's a needy boy today. Um, obviously like being a connoisseur of the Rickenbacker because I fucking have two of them. My old one is kind of retired. When I got it back, I'm like, this isn't going anywhere. We are preserving the magic on this one.
That's good.
It also plays like a complete dog. There's like a little bit of a ramp on the neck at like the 5th fret. So like frets 1 through 5 are like Rickenbacker low, and then up here it's like, oh, it's significantly higher. So I keep half rounds on it. I'm thinking of putting the DR Legend flats on it. I'm thinking that's where I'm leaning. Because like having a Rick with rounds and then a Rick with flats would be cool.
That would be.
I'm also thinking of doing the super polished on this one because I really like the way the super polished sound. It's just a nice in between of that like calm, more It's like that in between of the calm, more subdued, like mellow flat wound thing. But if you dig in, they grind. I love them. Like
Yes.
if there was a String of the Year award, which I feel weird actually not putting that in. It's a hindsight's 2020 thing for the floofies. I would have given it to the super polished, and Foundations would have been second place because like they're as a matter. Wait, I have them on my P base. What am I doing? I could just show you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, something about Foundations. They were good for a while when I tried them out, but they were just something that I wouldn't see myself sticking with. But
I
you know, I
feel like my thing with Foundations is one, there's like this weird point where they smell weird. But the more that I could look past, the more important thing for me is that there's this weird point when a string dies, I want it to die with a vibe kind of thing.
yeah.
I don't think Foundations had a good vibe when they were dying out. Like they're definitely a lot better brand new to like maybe a month old if you play all the time. Yeah, this is
Hmm.
the EP bass.
The one.
Yeah, this is the one. I got my I voted sticker because I voted. I got my non-binosaur, and then this textured sticker that's a starfish.
Wasn't that the P bass I showed you on a Guitar Center listing? I was like, hey, I think this is the model that you're looking for.
I think it was. I'm trying to remember when I got this.
I was like, going through Guitar Center used websites, and I was like, fuck it, Fender P basses, let's see what they got. Then I saw that buttercream one, and I'm like, let's see what the year is. And I looked at it and it said 2018, and I was like, all right, I think this is the one.
Yeah, man, this thing's got some magic to it. Just buttercream yellow, nice, just wonderful finish. It's a bone stock besides that, even the tuners, and it's just a great bass. If I won't spoil it, but it definitely, this bass wins an award in the Floofies this year, because I think it deserves it. I really do. I think it's awesome. So.
Yeah. So this is the Ibanez Mezzo I was playing with the neck pickup solo with 3-year-old GHS flat wound strings. I think these are the I forgot what they call it, but it's the purple packaging, precision flat wounds. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You had those on the Harley Benton earlier in the year.
That's right.
I remember them. They're actually still on my Squire Bronco.
Heck yeah.
And I never changed them because I never needed to, dog. That thing is sick.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find myself to not let go of this Ibanez Mezzo on my lap. Just because again, I want to get on this mindset for next year where I don't have a lot of these instruments here that I hardly play, and quite honestly, I would much rather get rid of towards something a little bit more high end, something nicer. Not that I'm saying that these aren't nice; they are nice, especially on a budget. But for me, it's like, let me get rid of 5 instruments that'll equal to a price of one good instrument, aka Rickenbacker, or even anything like something like a Spectre, maybe.
Like a nice Yamaha BB too, like
that
something
too,
like that,
or even the BBP series. Like I want the one in whites with that torque pick guard, but those are extremely hard to find online, used. And the time I found one used, I was freaking broke, and the time I got paid, it was sold, and I was like, dang.
Yeah,
It's one of
that is a tale as old as time, bro.
one of those
Uh,
moments.
I had a fucking Ernie Ball Music Man Saber Classic in Dolphin Blue, bird's eye maple board, sitting in a Guitar Center for $2,000. And they said you could put it on layaway. I just got this job at Costco. I hated the job at Costco, but I was like, dude, for this bass, I will eat it. So I went over there on Sunday, sold Saturday.
Wow.
I was so upset. I was very, very upset. It was a very, very bad like meltdown that I had. But that was before I knew I had autism too, so that was a really weird time.
Huh.
So it just seemed like very childish of me, but it turns out like when you have autism and you have like this weird overwhelming of emotions that you actually will like. I didn't like overtly like tantrum in the middle of the store or anything. I was at home. I was just like borderline weeping, but yeah. So very, very much the one that got away though. I've since gotten over it because I just play Rickenbackers now. That's just my brand.
It's like I found something
Again,
better that can fulfill my
I
heart.
moved on.
Yeah.
I do want to pick up a Saber Classic at some point. I do love them. I love Stingrays. I'm actually quite a big Stingray fan. Underneath the shielding of Fender P basses and Ricks, like I'm actually quite a big Stingray enjoyer, Chad Stingray enjoyer, if you will. My Sterling sub that I used in my senior recital, and I've used it across a few things now. Is awesome. The PJ Idiot bass, P Stingray. I need to rebuild that thing. I've been keep kicking that can down the road, but one of these days I will rebuild it. And I love the sound of the Sire Z3. I just hate the way it plays. Like the sound is like that. That is the Stingray sound to me. Very active, modern. Shove it all in your face. Every knob is super usable thing. Like whenever I play the Stingray like specials that they came out with in the past few years, like that's what I get the feeling of, and I get that in the Sire Z3 when I like listen to it. I just can't stand sitting down and playing with the damn thing, which sucks because I wish I could, because it would have been in the running for bass of the year if it was, but
Oh yeah. And quite honestly, I feel that way sometimes here and there when I play the Z7 for a long period of time, especially when I'm like looking up things to like play along to. I feel that slipping away from my right thigh, or sometimes like I feel like it's like making my right thigh numb because it's just been on that spot for a very long time, and
yeah.
it's kind of like I mean, when I pick up like a Sterling, I'm able to play it in a classical position, which I'm okay with. But
Mhm.
something about the Z bodies from Sire, playing those instruments in the classical position, it's not bad, but it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the body ergonomics that you mentioned in your video on how like that contour looks.
That picture of the contours side by side is very eye opening for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's if they're gonna redesign the Z3, if they make a Z3 V2, and that contours cut away and they just extend the horn a little bit, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah,
Like, I
and
think
yep.
that's all they need to do, though. Like, if they do that, that thing's just a grade A instrument. Like, that thing's fucking awesome. But it's okay. Sire's gonna do their own thing. I think they were mostly doing the body changes to avoid copyright infringement. Happy
Right.
early new year to you too, Dino Dan. Also, Brooks, left-handed anything is hard to find. I am a left-handed individual that plays right-handed, mostly because that's what I was given. But I have made strides to learn to play left-handed. It's just hard to find a lefty instrument, especially on the used market for super cheap. Like everything's right-handed. But it's definitely one of my things to do in my life is learn to play the bass left-handed again. Because
Well,
that's actually how I originally started playing the bass. Is I wanted to learn to play left-handed as a joke or as like a party trick. And now I have a piece of paper that says I'm really good at it. So that's pretty funny.
I mean, you can at least they have Sire. Sire does make left-handed instruments.
Yes, yes. And so funny enough, so does Schecter.
Yeah,
Schecter has a
Schecter.
very good selection of left-handed
That's
instruments.
right. Schecter and Sire are the companies I know that make left-handed models.
Like they're Schecter's got like a surprisingly good collection of lefty stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of awing. Um, Rickenbacker, everything that they make right-handed, they also make left-handed. Like everything.
Yes.
There's no like color, like you don't get cucked on colors and stuff. Like you genuinely get the full instrument both ways, which is really nice. Um, who else? Who else can I think of that makes just really good? We mentioned Sire already. There's not many, but there. Ibanez actually does a pretty decent job. They're not great, but like they're actually not bad about it either. Fender's not very good at it at all. They kind of just shovel you with none of the colors. They give you sunburst and black usually, and that's it.
Yeah, the boring colors.
Yeah, they hit you with the lame stuff. God forbid they put the color red on there, but Ibanez is pretty decent about it. Yeah, it really is Schecter and Sire, though. Those are the top two names that come to my head that are like, yeah, like almost everything that you can get right-handed, you can get left-handed through those two companies.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Yep. Happy early new year. Let's see. Since my 2024 video isn't really going to go in the personal realm, just because it's going to pretty much be straight to the point for my 2024 elections. This is pretty much my format to speak my piece about what I want to do for next year and how how this channel, the Sono Jono channel, will move forward. Because of my current job situation where I'm basically working 60 to even close to 80 hours a week, it's been hard for me to find the time to edit, record videos, and just do all of that again. So moving forward, I do have 2 editors now. So I went, I outsourced. Luckily, they're close friends, so it's not like I'm sending it to a complete stranger. They're very communicative and they're very on the point with edits of the way I like it. And I like how they always send me the rough drafts, and I tell them you're doing too much or you're doing too little. So I like to have that. I like to have that creative control still, and not have them hijack everything and start making me like do these other things that I'm just not comfortable with. And I'm actually glad they're able to keep some bloopers that I do in post, that I try to not reveal too much of, because I kind of want to come off as like not a goofy guy, but I guess I am in real life. And they told me, you know what, you need to embrace more of it, because I got one good feedback and I actually really it stuck with me, because I'm like, yeah, and I do feel that way too. I do I do sound a bit robotic at times. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's add some flair. Let's add some pizzazz into my videos moving forward, and just whatever blooper I do that you think will fit in the video of my reviews, go for it. I tell them just go for it, but you got to show it to me. All right, cool. So that was, or you'll be seeing that in the Sterling intro series video that's going to come out, I believe, the first week of 2025. And then 2 weeks after that, before, I believe the week before NAMM, it will be the Thunderbird bass that I had bought here and then had basically sent it overseas to a fellow.
Deep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then shipped it to him because that was pretty much his bass. And I said, if I have the time to review it, I'll do it, and then I'll send it to you. So that was the deal. And not gonna lie, I might as well just spoil it, because I said it in my 2024 video. That bass almost became my favorite bass of 2024.
Woo. Really?
Yeah.
You like the Thunderbird?
I love the Thunderbird sound. I loved how it sounded with distortion, and I loved how it sounded with just my playing. It felt like the playing that I've done for years translated well on that bass, but it's just not ergonomically friendly for me, to where it's a nice piece, but not something I would keep or own on that stable behind me. It's not something I can just put on the rack, because even when I do put it on the guitar stand, it just looks so weird. Like the way it's positioned.
Yeah. So, see, now what you need to do is you need to follow in like the footsteps of Ian Martin Allison now. Now you got bit by the bug. You love the way the Thunderbird sounds, but you hate the way it feels. Same problem, right? You need to put it on a jazz bass. You need to put it on a
Yeah.
jazz bass. Just drop 5-6 grand on a Mike Lowell, bro.
Good
Like that
Lord.
shit's easy.
Good Lord. I might as well at this point reach out to Michael and be like, yeah, I'm just a bass player that isn't skilled, but at least I appreciate the bass. Let me just like slide in a little bit of a discount for me, like 25% maybe.
If you could do like 100% off, that'd be great. Yeah. No,
I feel
I mean
that way
Michael Lowell's
sometimes.
a great instrument, but it's also expensive.
Oh yeah, I mean I feel that
There's
way
no
with
benefits.
freaking. I feel that way with Ennis Design. It's like as much as I do like their instruments and how they feel and play, 3K, 3K is just dang. Before the inflation though, before they were somewhat affordable. They ranged around the 2500 like range around before pandemic.
Yeah, I
Two
sent you a
years.
link to the IMA 5 and Porsche Chalk, man. Like,
Ooh.
if I had 6 grand to drop on just anything I wanted, it
Oh
would have been
my,
that bass.
oh my goodness.
Like, if you gave me 6 grand and said, Austin, you could do whatever you want, I want that bass. Like,
All right.
they're so nice.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh, I've seen this color. Yes, this one. Okay. Yeah. He
So,
let me I mean, according to sources that I've reached out to about Ian Martin Allison, they say that he's easy to talk to and reach out to.
mm-hmm.
And so I do want to ask him the question, which I have a feeling he's going to deny it and then say, oh, it's either a secret or it's not going to happen yet. But
Mm-hmm.
I would not mind his Mike Lowell signature, but in an Antigua finish. Then I will go and pony up 6K. And
Yeah.
then I'll be like, yes.
Yeah. Okay, but hear me out. His Alinto, like Antigua Gold signature bass. I would buy the shit out of that. Have you seen that one? His Alinto?
I did see it. And to me, I thought
Oh
it was
man.
okay. It was okay for me, but it took me a while to appreciate it.
That's fair. But like I saw it and I was like, dude, make like 70 of these.
What I
Like
did like,
please.
what I did like though is when he had a collaboration with Spectre and they did their Antigua finish version of a Spectre, and I thought, damn, that looks sick. And of course, the price and how much it just sold like that in seconds. I'm like,
Like
yeah, hell no, I ain't
stuff.
gonna compete in that line. Hell no.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, your jazz bass
Man.
is a 2001 Mexican jazz bass in Midnight Wine. Put on a
I
black
love that
pick guard.
color. Great
Yes,
color. God color.
I used to have the P bass version 2 years ago, and I loved that bass a lot, mainly for the finish. But I think I sold it towards the at the time I sold it towards that Fender Guitar Center exclusive with all ebony, the black
Mm,
body and the ebony fingerboard. That was good, but I kind of regret selling that. But I think I'm okay. I think I kind of already got my fix of the midnight wine color, but let's say if I didn't have my Fiesta Red P bass from the Classic Vibe series, that would be the bass in its place, the Midnight Wine.
yeah,
Let's
man.
see.
Oh man. Midnight Wine, what a color. Why don't they bring that back?
That's what I'm saying.
Like I know you could Fender mod shop it, but I don't think you can like just they should just put it back in the Made in Mexico or make it even better, make it a Made in America color.
Yeah,
That'd go great with the Made in America stuff.
it would.
That'd be awesome. Like what are they doing not cooking anything? Cook, damn you. Like, I think Fender has the capital and like the pull to do something really interesting if they wanted to.
Oh yeah,
But
100%.
they're too afraid to pull away from that fucking crusty ass old man that sits in the back, walks out and goes, "Get the fuck off my lawn! I only like my jazz basses with two knobs and a tone." I want my 2 volumes. No more gizmos and gadgets and switches. And he's like waving his cane at you like that guy. Like,
Oh
no, dude,
man.
like take what you got and twist it a bit, right? The Meteor is a great example of that. And the Meteor is
Mm-hmm.
sick. Like,
Yes.
they're awesome. And I think they should keep pushing the envelope like that. Come up with a new Fender design. Modernize
Mm-hmm.
the Fender design. Take what you know and advance it, you know? Like I
Yep.
feel like so many other companies are doing that right now. And like Rick is doing what I've wanted Gibson to do for ages, which is just pulling away from the true vintage spec, modernizing it but still keeping the look. Right? You could do that with what Fender has. So I rant. um I will continue to fucking cope and just see that the mouth, like, what is it, mauled? That's the word, mauled. I'm maulding because I know that they have the capital to do it. They just don't. They're too scared. They're weenie hut generaled. So
I think to me they figured why mess up a good thing that still works and just
oh, yeah.
continue creating and beating the dead horse that they know that it's safe for them. They're just not willing to take the budgeting risk.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they leave stuff to Epiphone to kind of take that on pretty much, kind of like with Fender and Squire,
Mm-hmm.
Um
But like take the Rascal for example. The Rascal was a fucking hit. Like
yeah,
that was a home run and a half, dog. And I
absolutely.
think they could totally like push that and make that a made in America line now. Because now
That yeah.
they have the proof. Like use Squire as like this dummy model that you can go, here's this really stupid idea I was thinking about. Let's try it. And then they try it and it can work.
Yeah, and then they see their sales going up, and then the fact that they were like out of stock for a couple months, and before they had a
Yeah.
restock, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's already an indication that it did extremely well, thanks
Did what it
to
was supposed to, dog.
thanks to us online that praised it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, you had Lobster praising it, you had me praising it, Johnny Dibble, freaking Bully, it's
I
just
was on that
everyone,
list. I just didn't
they
have a video.
they all praised it, and literally this year I was so close contemplating to do another re-follow up of is the Rascal bass still good a year later. So that's gonna be an idea for 2025.
I think you should do that.
I
I
I
think that would be
agree.
a great video.
That will,
And
because not
but
gonna lie,
I would go as far to say that video would be splendid.
not only that, but there are some things that I kind of changed my mind on after the fact that I've played it for the second time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are some things that I might have missed out on that I'm like, you know what? I missed out on it, and now I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call
Yeah.
out some of the inconsistencies that I do find in the Rascal. I'm going to call
Sure.
out certain things that I missed that I'm like, you know what? It was good. I praised it, but there is one thing I forgot to mention. Yes, the tone sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not for everyone. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it's not for me. Um if it was for me, it would be in this rack behind me, but it's not. And
Yeah.
for me, it's a niche. It's a niche of an instrument.
For me personally, I think that's kind of a blessing of like when you send stuff over to me, and I need to start sending stuff over to you. I need to start returning that fucking favor. But like when you do, because until very recently, I've been in such uber poverty, I couldn't ship it back financially for a bit, and that curse kind of turned into a blessing because it allowed me to sit with it for a while and take off the rose tinted glasses. Because the Sire Z3, I
Mhm.
was like, this is it. This is the Sterling killer. There's no reason to have the Ray 35 anymore. That's it. It's over. It's game over. It's Jover. You know, whatever you want to use. And then the more time I used it, the more I realized the less I played it, and the rose tinted glasses started to come off, and all of a sudden you could kind of see it with like the true 2020 vision, and you're like, okay, there's some good. There is good on this instrument. There's also bad. We need to talk about both because if you don't talk about both, then what people get is that like upfront value of this sound good, this good, put money into this, and that's just not good for everybody. It's not good for
Yes.
anybody.
Yeah, and I
So
think I think it is better to address some of the things that it's like, yeah, I missed it. Um, do I still give it a 5 out of 5? Maybe,
mhm.
maybe not.
I think I really do think it's good. I think there's a world where I see it goes down to a 4 though, because there's two big flaws with the Squire Paranormal Rascal for me. And really the big one is how heavy they are. They're pretty consistently heavy. The other thing is where like the hand position's weird. So like it's like an ergonomic nightmare in some ways. It
Yeah.
can work. It could be ergonomically good if you're like, I guess, just play forward anyways, then it's just like you're right in the middle and that's the sweet spot of it to me. But I think that thing will like have a niche as a pick machine because of the way that you hold it. It holds like a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't really work for bass players, but for guitar, like those who play with fingers, but for those who play with a pick, that thing has like a nasty sound. And you're probably gonna find more if you get another one, and just sit with it for a while and just let the like rose tinted shade just come off and the orange filter of Mexico in movies just starts to come in and you start seeing it like for the real deal.
Yeah,
Um, but I think it could be a good thing.
absolutely.
I think it's probably a 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt that way even earlier this year where it's like I do want to review a lot of bases, but to me I want to take it take it time, I want to give it
Hmm.
some time, let it marinate. Don't just right out of the box praise it for what it is, go out and make a video on it and pretty much lead everyone to astray saying it's the best bass ever without giving it some thought, giving it some time to let it simmer, and
Yeah.
then see how you feel a week or 2 weeks later. For me, I think it's going to be 2 weeks later just because of my work and everything. But
Hmm.
um, 2 weeks minimum, and then see how I feel after the 2 weeks. Is it something that I like? Is it something that is worth talking about? Is it worth the budget for what it cost? Considering that again, with inflation still and the cost of instruments not being as expensive, but still borderline expensive, like for example, the Z7. I think the Z7 price is a bit too high considering its drawbacks behind it.
Hmm.
But if you can find it used, go for it. But there's just not a whole lot of good used deals if you do ever come across one. So it's kind of like pick your poison. Yeah, there are reviews, countless of reviews on the Z7 out there. All of them say that they're good. I don't think there's any other video out there currently that express the same feeling I have about my Z7 experience outside
Hmm.
of people experiencing other Sire instruments but not the Z7. So it's kind of hard that I'm not really out there to kind of be amongst the crowd of it's good because I'm kind of in my own corner, thanks to YouTube's like algorithm, how they like to do it.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
like, all right, let's push the positive ones out there to everyone and market, and then just leave my little negative experience in the corner and just until someone is really interested in deep diving about a Z7 and they come across my video. All right, why is it that there's 5 videos of people here praising about it and then you have that one person saying it's not good? You know? It's
Yeah.
interesting how that works. It's like picking favorites.
Hmm. Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me. The algorithm, like the thing that's going to generate the most clicks is this is really really good in the thumbnail and everything. Like you got to play the game.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. But
I I kind of like, part of me wants to keep playing the game, part of me kind of doesn't. Like I don't want to play the game from a like quantity standpoint. I want to play the game from more of a quality standpoint in 2025.
yeah, me
Cuz
too.
once a week for videos is a lot. And I
Yes.
stuck with that for most of the year. Then I cut back to once every other week for a while, and then but still, how many videos came out in 2024 for me? Because there's the entire first page. That's 31, 2, 3, 4. I had 34 videos in 2024.
Wow. You had
which is,
way,
and I took 3 months off. Like that's absurd. That's a lot. Um,
you had way more than me.
I I am gonna cut that back because I want to take more of an artistic approach. Like what I did for the ode to the Rickenbacker bass in like February, where I just played a Rick and talked over what I was doing. I like that. I like having like a script and just reading off of it and just kind of breaking the script a little bit, and going off of it a little bit and then coming back.
Hmm.
Uh, Kind of giving like a, especially now because I have such a unique perspective as like a fresh graduate from college. Like it's just I have interesting takes. I have this really artistic uh thing that I really want to like finish, but it requires me going to NAM to pull off.
Hmm.
Um, he went off his tower. It's um, but it's the entire concept of who is Gear for, and that is the general thesis of the video. Like who is Gear for? I asked this question to like you and a bunch of other people like a few months ago, and I have this long list of notes on my iPad. And what I want to do is I want to take it to NAM and keep asking the question to just other bass players, other musicians, because I could run into musicians of all kinds. Um, and just listen to them and see what they have to say about it, because the concept of gear, we have like this internal thing that we need to have the best of it, or we need to have the most expensive of it in a lot of ways, because capitalism breeds that culture. But what I've learned through my experiences being really a performing musician for the past 3 years, because that's really only how long it's been. I started performing in fall of 21, and as a performing musician, the most expensive bass and the cheapest bass can both be really good if you give it the right context. Gear is
Hmm.
not for like the audience to enjoy. Gear is not for you to spend the most money on. Gear is for you to feel the most comfortable, to sound the best. Like I am thinking about swapping out my 112 cabinet for a 210, probably Aguilar SL, because I just love that. The lightweight of it is super good. But I think the brighter and more punchy tonalities of a 210 or maybe even a 410 fit the sound that I'm chasing nowadays than it was when I was in college. I just got into jazz and I needed something that could do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very interesting thing. It's like a borderline thesis. What I've learned is that I love writing like well educated essays about stuff. So I see a world where I write about like I want to write about like the history of PJ basses and where they came from and why Fender started producing them and why other companies started producing them. Who did it first? Like that is a question that has been like burning a hole in my mind for the past like week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, just playing off like nothing happened. But like like we have the precision bass that has a very clear and straight line path of where it came from. You have the jazz bass that is very clear and straight line path where it came from. And then you have the PJ, which is kind of a hybrid of the two, and its origins are a lot less clear. I want my theory, without looking into it under any capacity, is that there were a lot of people that modded ones from the 70s to put a jazz bass pickup near the bridge of a precision bass to have that best of both worlds tonality, and that's probably what sparked the idea. And for Fender to be like, oh well, if people are doing it anyways, then we might as well produce it, because that's really the Fender way. Is if people are fucking with your
Yeah.
shit, well,
And I
hell, they're
mean,
right. Like,
yeah. And they were like practically fading out in existence in the 80s. Like no one was talking about Fender in the 80s until like late
in the
80s when they
'90s too.
started realizing PJ basses are the way. PJ Master Race, let's go. Because I'm on that train of PJ or nothing. Because I mean, I love PJ basses. I mean, looking at my roster of instruments, I have like 4, 5 PJ basses, including the Sire U7.
I have one. I have the one,
The
but
one.
I do like it. Here's the thing: is I'm so picky about them. This showed up in the Flukies too. This is a great bass. This thing's awesome.
It's a really good
Uh,
one. I'm glad you liked it.
yeah, it's a very nice gift. You don't have to give me anything for my birthday. We could just count this as birthday, Christmas, and graduation. Just Something like that. And I just think this thing's awesome. Like, you could kind of blend the neck pickup back a little bit too.
Right.
There's like a breakaway point on like these 2 pickup basses, like jazz basses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where when it's still getting it, but it's not getting as much of it, and the neck pickup's a little bit more dominant, so you have that warmth, but you're not losing that bite. You know, there's like a nice in-between spot to it, and that's kind of where I've been most happy with like jazz basses and stuff. Because like jazz basses, when you start doing that, you get like a more aggressive 51, and I love it. On like these PJ basses, you kind of get like a almost jazz bass grind, because it keeps that low end, and it's still got a lot of that scoop, but it's still got, it's more mid-range. It's still definitely a P bass in there, like. You know, it's like almost breaching Rickenbacker territory, like feathering with it. So yeah, fun bass though, very fun. The click wheel knobs are awesome. I honestly wish the tone knobs did more, because if they did, I'd probably use them a lot more. But as a bass instrument, man, like this thing rips. I feel like it might find a spot on like the crew record that we're working on with my band. Like, I just see a world where like there's like maybe 1 or 2 songs that I could see a world where it might work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of PJs, like I really want this, man. Like, I want this one so bad.
I sent that exact motherfucker to you today too.
I know. Like, I've been eyeing it for a while too.
Bro, that's so good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it beats getting the black one that I had originally wanted to get, because I had, like, this was the plan. I wanted to sell the Sire U7 and get this one instead, because it has the same finish. But then I was like, yeah, but here's the thing that I overlooked from the Sire U7. The Sire U7 has 21 frets, I believe. 21 or 22 frets that I'm like, I actually use those frets, especially for the project that I do. Like, I actually utilize every single fret that they offer from the U7. Like, I do reach all the way down here, like right there. That's like the last fret right here. Like, I actually play notes around there. What was that?
Dusty end is for I said you're all the way up in the boonies. The dusty end's for everybody.
Yes, over there. Exactly. Like, hey, there's some good stuff over here.
In guitar land.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, the 734 from Yamaha doesn't have it.
Oh, that's human or a bot? We have to clarify.
Oh no.
Press for me.
All right. Let's press and hold, chat. Press and
do
hold.
it together, y'all.
I'm a bot.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible. Oh, terrible.
Oh, there. No, never mind. We're good. We passed it. All right.
Oh, thank the heavens. I was going to say, just like my ranked games in Overwatch, terrible.
I was going to say, these are the droids they're looking for. Okay. But yeah, definitely this. I want this so bad. A while back, Reverb, I guess some store owner or whatever, they had a used blemished demo model, and they were selling that for 600, and I'm like, I want it now, and it's sold. But quite honestly, this would actually, if I were to get this would actually replace my Squire Vintage Modified short scale Jaguar bass.
Ooh. I don't blame
Yeah.
you for that. I think that thing does a lot. Have you heard I need to send you this. Because John Patitucci is sponsored by Yamaha, right? He has been forever. He has this wild 6-string that he plays, but he also, on this like electric guitar quartet that he did, he played a 5-string version of it, of a Yamaha. He played pretty much that exact bass. It might have been like the Made in USA one. But oh, what's the song? Is it this one? It's like a blues. Oh, but this song's banging too. Like, bro, listen to this tone on this. And then just skip to like a minute in. Like a minute and a half.
Ah, here I am. Ah, nice. That bass too.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, nice. And it's the most replayed part too.
Mm-hmm. Like when they start getting into the head.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Damn.
Like, you can't find this shit on Spotify. You gotta find it on the YouTube playlist. It's called the John Patitucci Electric Guitar Quartet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, that's so badass.
I mean, again, more reasons for me to cancel my subscription to Spotify next year in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Something about Spotify, dude. Like, I used to fuck with it heavy. Now I'm just like, hardly do. And when I do, the whole stupid rap of the year, it never counts the stuff that I've played accurately, and it tracks the stuff I listened to 3 years ago. And I'm like, what is this rap? It's literally just like the same rap from like 2 years ago. They just sprinkled new artists that I like only listened to only once, and then they make it sound like I've listened to them for hours.
Yeah. Nah, my Spotify Wrapped was my own band. It was like 90% my own band shit because I was like, I was listening to it to rehearse
Yeah.
and play along to, and because I don't use Spotify for anything else but work, I was like, fuck it, right? Like, I was thinking of getting an iPod for personal use, like an iPod Classic.
Oh, hell yeah. I have my old
just,
iPod here somewhere.
Yeah, and just doing that, just to have music that I want to listen to and actively listen to. And just to kind of like be very picky with my music, to have stuff that only I really want. There's no algorithm, there's no bullshit. It's just I deliberately put it on this device, therefore that is what I am going to listen to. There's nothing to interfere with me, and I like that. Like I want that, like that's nice. So
Exactly.
definitely 100% took inspiration from the Digging the Grates video. 100%.
Oh yeah, that video was amazing. I love that one where he's all like, "Yeah,
awesome.
I fit a terabyte in this one."
Yep. Yeah.
I
That's
I
what I
fit a
want to do,
terabyte.
baby.
Oh yeah. See, another PJ. Let's go. Master Race.
I've definitely come along to the PJs are good side. I don't think I'm in the PJ Master Race band yet. I am definitely the Rickenbacker connoisseur of the ages. But I went from I don't fuck with PJs at all to no, I fuck with PJs. Like, yeah, I love pajamas. Oh, I can play the upright on stream now too because I got a pickup in it.
Oh, sick.
I'm not gonna play it right now. It's 11 o'clock at night, and Sarah would kill me. But like, I could do it. It's I am a doubling upright player. To those who don't know my channel, We are going to have some upright content real soon. Not to the level of PD Bass. That man's a maniac and far more experienced and better than I am, and probably ever will be on the instrument. But I will be playing the upright relatively in tune and decently well. Yeah.
I got so disappointed earlier with this that I'm actually looking into sending it back. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so when I tried it out in the field, because I had some time when I was outside, went to another guitar center to pick up that AKG mic, and I did a little test video, and I put one channel my lavalier, and then the other one the straight XLR from the combo amp, and yeah, I did it through Post a little, and it just didn't do what I had expected it to do because I thought it was gonna like have its own separate audio form, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this is tricky. I go to Adobe Premiere to give it like that stereo treatment, but it does it for the entire recording. They're not stemmed. Basically,
Oh.
both the
So it's
inputs.
dual mono?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like, all right, the left channel is the bass, the right channel is me talking, and then during post, if I want it stereo, it just makes it louder and it doesn't like blend. So I'm like, oh, this sucks. So I
Oh,
might
is it one stereo track that isn't split?
pretty much. So like both.
So there's a very bojanky way to fix that in post.
Mm-hmm.
If you pan one all the way to the right and then pan the
Oh,
other
that.
side, copy it and then pan it all the way to the left.
Whew. No, but
That
what
would
I'm
be
saying,
horrendous, but it would fix your problem.
it would, but the thing is, it both the inputs, the left and the right,
Mm-hmm.
after it's finished recording, they blend the two inputs together as stereo. So it's hard for me to pick apart which channel because it's all mixed in. It's not separate.
Is there a way to change that in like the settings? Do you want to dig in some settings for that? Do you even want to dig in the settings for that?
At this point, not really, because it's just too much work that I'd rather just focus on just this and this only.
Yeah.
And this one is just like too much. Like, I think this is too much for what I am looking for, basically. Like, if
Back
I'm
to
looking
being
for.
mono, huh? Still
Yeah,
haven't
I
found
mean,
what you're looking for.
it's always been mono, but I at least was able to get a good stereo sound out of it. This, it's kind of like
Mono
their
to
own.
mono, just like that.
Yeah, it's just awkward.
All right, I'm done.
But, yeah. The thing is, the whole plan for this, though, was for NAMM. Like, I had bought this specifically for NAMM. I was going to have a channel of just me playing and then another channel of me talking over it as if, I'm not having to rely on this and then having to change out, okay, put this back or unplug the XLR, bring in my lavalier, and then talk in between. Be like, yeah, this sounds good. Play it again. Do it and then unplug, plug it back in. All right, next channel. I'm just fiddling too much. This, it gets all of it done, but the whole process of getting it stemmed out and it all combines it to one stereo track without it being split. It's,
Yeah, you could probably find a way to mess with it. I think
yeah.
there's a way to do it.
Something tells me there is. I might have to just get a little bit more creative then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's wow. It's almost
So
11
for me,
p.m. here, man. Let's call it a night.
Shop. Yep.
Yep.
I was about to say, any closing thoughts that you want to do?
Closing thoughts. To make it short, yeah, 2025 will definitely be a year where I'm going to start producing a bit more, hopefully. I'm assuming at least 2 videos a month and see how that goes from there. Quality is the key. And looking forward to the new setup too, because I really did invest a lot in the setup that I have going on. And I do want to thank the people that have subscribed to this channel. Without their support, I wouldn't have gone this far. on top of getting new equipment for the channel, which I'm really blessed. Again, if it wasn't for the people supporting me, I wouldn't have been able to afford my new Mac Mini M4 that I'm now editing videos on, and it's like lightning fast, which is way better than my laptop that took like literally an hour just to encode an 8-minute review. So I'm blessed, and I have to thank every single supporter to the channel to fund me for that, because it was awesome.
You know what's really funny is doing rendering for the floofies. It's a 34 or 5 minute video. It rendered in 6 minutes.
Damn, that's so good.
I was like, what? I was amazed. I like went back to the computer after like 10 minutes. I saw it was like registered or like rendered in like 7 minutes or 6 minutes. I was like, what the fuck was that? Old dog still got it, man. Old dog learns new tricks.
Heck yeah.
I upgraded to DaVinci 19 recently, so I guess they must have done something to the encoder that made it quicker, which I'm happy for.
That's good. Yeah. I'm still rocking Premiere. I try to do the whole DaVinci thing, but it's a whole new learning curve that it's like, dang, I don't. Oof. If I would have done DaVinci, yeah, exactly. If I had done DaVinci way earlier, yeah, I could have been DaVinci all the way.
Yeah, I think I want to get better at editing over the year. That's probably gonna be something on my radar. What else? I think I just really want to take a more artistic approach to the channel. I think that's really what I'm looking to do. Because like making stuff once a week is fun, and it's not like I've lost the love for that. And honestly, the shittiness of my videos kind of has a charm to it. So I'll definitely toss some of those in there, but I do want to try something a little bit more like higher produced at some point. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
All right.
Well,
thanks. I think I'm done.
Yeah, thanks everyone for chiming in into the live stream. I was not expecting to have people coming in and start chatting it up. I just thought it was just going to be me kind of like, I guess, in a sense, bragging about next year and all this stuff I can't wait to like feature on the channel, stuff like that. And looking forward again to my editors coming in clutch and yeah, making my videos a bit more interesting with some bloopers that I purposely take out and not put in the reviews that I'm looking forward to featuring for next year, because I find it interesting on how they pick out certain parts of my bloopers and they add into the film, which flows. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Who would have thought I'd be goofy like this?
Cool. I honestly thought it was just going to be an hour and a half of us shooting the shit. So I'm happy it got some viewership and stuff. I hope it keeps getting viewership too. Like, you know, the beauty of YouTube is the moment that you're done. It's a VOD now. It's not over. So yeah.
Awesome. And there it is.
There it is. All right.
All right. See you guys all later. Take it easy.